Today was a really good day today. And I was considering going out this whole week, but I was like, no, I'll wait until Thursday. I think Thursday may be a good time for me to go out and enjoy myself. Originally, it was supposed to be on Tuesday, but I was like, no. Wednesday, I was like, I'll go Wednesday. And then Wednesday, I was like, I want to stay at home for some odd reason. Then Thursday, I was like, okay, time for me to get off my ass and go handle some biz-wiz, which I really did have to handle some biz-wiz. And I felt good. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just seems as though stuff would just slowly but surely just fall into place. And I'm coming on here to basically talk about how you don't have to stop living your life entirely or stop showing up for yourself just because. As mentioned in the past few episodes, yes, I have been through some shit, and again, I'm not even gonna give it that time of day. I'm already still like, I'm getting at the tail end of everything. But long story short, it's just like I just refuse to let myself go. Like, just because there's no need for me to let myself go because of circumstances out of my fucking control. And I'm like, I'm still going to have a good ass time. I'm still going to sit up here and live my life. I'm still going to take care of myself. I'm still going to make sure I look the fuck good, feel the fuck good, and do what I got to do. Like, I still have to take care of me at the end of the day because the world is going to keep going with or without you. So are you going to hop on that bus? Like, are you going to hop on that bus? Or are you just going to miss the bus? Like, what the fuck are you going to do? And that's my attitude. It's like, I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm too far gone and I let life slip through my fingers because of stuff out of my control. Now, I will say this. That does not mean that I'm ignoring or sweeping stuff under the rug. I'm still going to make sure I do what I have to do to take care of myself. Even whether I'm not I'm still, making sure I do the proper work to heal myself and to do what I got to do. And honestly, it's just like a matter of, like I said, it's just, today just reminded me that, like, I do not have to, I will still have good days. The sun will still shine at the end of the day. There will always be, you will always have a new day to start anew. In the meantime, everything, I just got to focus on what I can focus on. And that's just making sure that I keep myself afloat. And life can be very good to you. And there will be things outside of you that try to bring you down or try to shoot at your confidence or try to shoot at your stability or your sense of self. You may come across these things throughout your life or at certain periods of your life, not throughout, because it's not going to be a constant thing. But even if you encounter those things, you have to develop a sense of self, know who you are and what you're capable of doing. Because if you allow yourself to fall victim to believe in what other people believe about yourself, do you really know who you really are? Going based off of external things, the external can change at the drop of a hat, meaning that things can change, but what you can't, what will not change is your sense of self, that stability within yourself, the person that knows themselves more than anyone else, And it's okay to build that strong relationship with yourself, because when you build that strong relationship with yourself, and I'm not talking about surface level relationship with yourself where it's just oh, I'm just going to take care of it. No, it's more so building that connection with yourself where it's okay, I know I like this, but I don't like this. It's just as simple as okay, my style, what is my personal style? What is it that tune it into what you really like. Also trying to figure out, for example, what is my favorite music? For example, you can listen to other people's music and it's yeah, this sounds good, but it wasn't something that was really connecting to you, even though you was okay, it sounds good, But then you find that favorite artist and it's like, oh yes, this shit clicks. Like, this music I like. I need to look into this genre a little bit more. You know what I mean? It's just more so like tuning into your own personal tune and not going based off of someone else's tune or someone else's like perspective of who you are. If you know who you are deep down within yourself, no one can tell you who the fuck you are. No one can tell you what you can and can't do. No one can tell you what you should and shouldn't do, because you know yourself. So take time out to really build that connection with yourself. I will say, like, the most amount of, like, the time I really had a opportunity to really do that was when the pandemic hit in 2020, and I was basically, I didn't really have nothing attached to me. Everything basically was stripped. I cut off all connections, and honestly, I have an episode on that on my previous season, which is like the long lost key episode. I might link that down below in the description box. But basically, it was like everything was stripped of me, like things that I identified with and things that I thought was, you know, it was just a lot of stuff that was basically out of my hands at that point. And during the pandemic, you know, it gave me an opportunity to really tune into what it is that I wanted to do and actually to hear my voice. And part of the reason why I did create the Tearra Show was to hear myself versus like hear other things, like replace the thoughts that was implemented by other people with my own thoughts, like what it is that I thought I should do, like basically figuring out my sense of direction versus like going based off of like, you know, a standardized roadmap that was not working for me. So during the pandemic, it gave me an opportunity to really tune into what I really like and tune into things that, and actually listen to myself and hear myself versus like smothering it down and like ignoring it. You know what I mean? Like, for example, during the pandemic, I rested. I did need rest because I was burnt out. I was really burnt out prior to that. But properly healing and then like really taking time out to heal. And healing is a whole nother process. I may have scratched the surface on my previous episode that I posted last Wednesday, but healing is way more in depth than surface level. And there's really no rule book. But I think I'll go more into depth as episodes progress. But in any case, I really took time out to myself to really heal and to really hear myself versus like, you know, feeling as though I can't really allow myself to trust myself, if that makes sense. So surprisingly, even though it was like it was a very humbling experience as well as a very like transformative experience. It was an experience that was like, you know, it was an experience that I'll never forget. I learned what my voice sounded like. Not me speaking, but more so my internal voice. Learned my intuition, learned my thought processes, and tuned into like my own frequency. I also learned, you know, what eating habits, as far as eating habits go. Like, I always say this, it takes the complete opposite of something in order to understand the duality of it all. So I learned what it is, like which lifestyle choice, I refuse to call it a diet, but I learned which lifestyle choice better suited me and what benefited me. I learned my style, and I think I tuned in more into my style once I was at the tail end of the pandemic, when I had towards the tail end of the pandemic, I started to tune into my personal style, how I wanted to present myself. I also felt more confident in myself, and I felt more stable in myself. It felt as though I was rebranding myself, but also recalibrating into who I truly am and how I want to live my life versus have people, like, not sitting in the back row in the background letting life pass me by and just going with the flow of what let stuff be decided for me, but actually being an active participant in my lifestyle, in my choices, in my decisions, in my goals, in my life. Like, from any part, I just want to have a say in what I decide to do. And I learned so much. And compared to where I was before and where I am now, I feel as though I look different. I feel different. I feel like a whole new person. Like, when I look at old pictures, I'm like, who was that person? Like, what was that? You know what I mean? It was like a timeline shift that I've experienced. I'm trying to figure out now, like, what is it that I really want to do? And I had a dream on Wednesday. Today is Thursday. And I remember in real life, like in reality versus the dreamland, it seemed like that quote came to me in my dream. But prior to, an old coworker told me that in passing, it was like, figure out what you really want to do and start putting effort towards that. You don't want to be a certain age looking back and regretting that you did not take that chance when you took that chance. If you see yourself here, start working towards that. Da 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 da. And I was like, oh shit. Like, it was weird how that came to my mind or my dream Wednesday. It was like, you know what, this is reminding me like what it is that I really want to put effort towards, and not just waste my time in places that is not really giving me what I really want. Even if the job was easy, even though the job wasn't really that, it still somehow, some way was weighing on me in different ways. Like, it just was not making me happy. And then on top of that, the environment switched, but overall, it really was not making me happy at all. And it was like I was wasting my time. And it definitely became apparent to me towards the final days, but I digress. In any case, I'm now at this phase of my life where I want to put effort towards things that actually will align with me versus things that just because I have so much life, I have so much vitality, I have so much drive, I have so much energy, passion. I don't want to waste away. I don't want to lose myself in bullshit, and I don't want to lose myself in a cycle of disappointment and lack of equal give and take, or lack of fulfillment, if that makes sense. And I do see more for myself. It felt like when I had accepted that full-time job, it seemed as though I accepted less than what I really deserved, especially with all the efforts that I put in towards that job. It just seemed as though I was getting played and used. My time was being used. And it was confirmed to me again on that last day I was there. But in any case, I think now I want to put effort towards figuring out what do I want to do, and what efforts, and put efforts towards what it is that I see myself doing, if that makes sense. And I think that this is what this phase of my life is. What is it that I really want for myself? And if it's not giving me exactly what I want, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to waste my time. Because my time is precious. My energy is precious. And I love myself too much than to put myself through unnecessary stress, unnecessary drama, unnecessary bullshit. I owe myself that space to really put effort towards what it is that I genuinely want to align with. So that's what I want to come on here and say. It's like, figure out, don't allow yourself to let yourself go because of things out of your control, and start putting effort towards building a relationship with yourself Don't just put effort towards external relationships or external things, but actually put more time and effort to yourself. Getting to know yourself, understanding your quirks, your highs, your lows, like understanding like what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what makes you angry, like figuring out your ticks, figuring out the nooks and crannies, like diving deep into the deep abyss of your psyche so you can better align with what it is, like who you are and what you are here to do and what you are here to accomplish, and also to revive yourself. Like when you put in that effort towards yourself, and I'm not, like I said again, not just externally, like oh, okay, taking care of myself, like not doing the basis, but more so like taking care of your internal well, you're then able to really output and show, like that effort will show on the external. It will show. And you will start to feel a whole lot better than you did before. So start cleaning up that internal world, you guys. Like, it's not the end of the world. It's never too late to connect with yourself. It's never too late to love yourself. It's never too late to really embrace who you are and to take care of it. Give yourself the needs that your soul needs in order to thrive. And then you'll see the rewards show up in different ways. Don't, like I said, don't allow yourself to look like what you went through. But also don't allow yourself to be beaten down by external things. Like, start doing things that really makes you light up inside. And then life will start to show you the beauties of it. The external may change, but the internal you will always stand the test of time. So don't switch up on yourself. Start building that connection with yourself. Start getting to know who you are. There is never, ever, it's never too late to do that. Never too late. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter how young you are. Start building that relationship with yourself. Because you got to live with yourself at the end of the day. You are the only person that is going to live with yourself throughout the rest of your life. You got to live in this vessel that you came on earth to be in. So start watering that soul. Start watering you, and start really building that strong connection. Because while the external may change, once again, you will always have you. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. See you next time. Well, talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.